It is complementary energies within us that make us feel so solid. So we'll be doing a particular sequence where first we'll be tapping and moving our bodies to begin to break up the blockages from stress. And then we will go to do what we call Ha breath, which helps to further balance and strengthen the energies inside us that protect us. And then we will do a breathing we call 4, 4, 6, and 2, which is found for thousands of years throughout China, India, and other Asian countries to help calm and harmonize the energies. And then we will begin to do breathing at 5 breaths per minute in a very relaxed but attentive way. And that brings the two parts of our nervous system, it develops them to work together optimally. And that lasts for a long period of time, even after you stop doing this breathing. The breathing will be at approximately 5 breaths per minute. If you are taller than 6 feet in height, the breathing ideally would become slower over practice, but we'll assume for today that we're all of at least average height. And we will also begin to move the breath around our body in our imagination as we do the breathing. Since the breathing is very different than how we ordinarily breathe, because the way we ordinarily breathe is very stressed, and that keeps our mind and everything in our system in a stress mode, most of you will find the breathing will feel either too fast or too slow. But when people are measured in the laboratory, in several laboratories around the world, doing this breathing, there is a remarkable change. So however you may feel at the breathing, it's merely a matter of practice. And with practice, the breathing becomes natural, and your mind and the things we can measure about your mind's electrical activity begin to look like a monk or a yogi who's been meditating for many hours a day for many years. But this makes it much easier. We need to be the best we can be right now in the conditions we've created on earth, and in order to change them to be in a better place. After the breathing, we will then become much more aware of the space inside us and around us. And then I'll ask you to process what you're noticing. At first, the changes can be so subtle, you mainly experience some physical changes. It may take a while, that is some days or weeks or months of practice, to begin to feel the changes coming in how your mind works and how your emotions work and how your connectedness to your original inner self and other people and the environment around you are working in a much better way. And then we'll have time for questions because I think many of you will have questions. So what I'm going to do is stand up now. And come back to where you can see me. And we're going to be putting some music on and tapping our body, which opens up certain channels that are often shut down by stress. And just follow my directions, like you're just mirroring. You're 5 years old, you're a child again, and just doing something really natural. So imagine your spine extending toward the sun and your shoulders and hips dropping toward the earth. And in a moment, you'll begin to hear some music. And as we do this, just smile. Remember, you're 5 years old. And tap aside. When you're 5 years old, you don't care what people think. And your body just wants to move to music. And let's go to the other side. And up under your collarbones, stimulating the lungs. And now, on your 7 cervical vertebrae shoulders. This is helpful for your immune system. And the shoulder. We get a lot of tension in the shoulders. And let's go down the upper side of the arm. All the energy channels in your body come together in the hands and feet. So it's amazing how natural clapping is all over the world to stimulate those channels. And up inside the arm. And over to the other shoulder. Down the upper side of the arm. Loosen your shoulders up. And up inside the arm. And your belly. Outside, and we're going to go down the outside of the legs, all the way down the lower legs to the ankle and feet, top of the feet and toes, inner feet and ankles, inner lower legs, and the front of the upper legs. And back to your side. Back to the other side. And let's not forget the back. And your sacrum is very important for endings in the sacrum. And your kidneys. And back to the side. And the other side. Up under the collarbones. On your shoulders, between your shoulders and the lower part of your neck. And once again, shoulder. Down the upper side of the arm. Inside aspect of the arm. Shoulder. And over to the other shoulder. And down the upper side of the arm. Inside, and your stomach, and let's go down outside. There are very important channels we're stimulating here. They're very important for your health. Down the lower legs, ankles, feet and toes all around, and the inner ankle, lower leg, and the front of the upper leg. And back to your side. And the other side. let your shoulders gradually drop. Feel your hips going down into the earth, almost like you're a big tree with giant roots, a willow or a mangrove tree. Close your eyes a moment and become aware of the sensations throughout your body. Scan through your body, feel the changes, and become aware of your thoughts and your level of attention. And become aware of the rhythm and the other qualities of your breath. And then let's open our eyes. So now we're going to go on to do Ha breath. And we'll talk about what you experience once we've done it. So what we're going to be doing is pretend you're a 5-year-old child on a playground and you can yell as loud as you want. I'm hoping where you are able to do that now. If you aren't, you can just make a really vigorous exhale through your nose. But I'm going to assume you can yell loudly. I will try not to deafen you with my sound. What we're going to do is breathing in, bringing the elbows back and the palms up. When we breathe out and go ha, it's kind of turning the hands over and it's like shaking water off your fingers. So let's do it. Just breathe with me. Breathing in, ha, 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 louder, ha, 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 ha. 2 more. Ha, ha, and relax. Let your arms hang at your sides. Closing your eyes. Observe the change in the sensations in your body. Where do you feel the energy moving most? And what's the quality of your mind activity? What's the level of your attention? And what rhythm does your breath want to be in now? And opening our eyes. So this breath is activating your mind and body and energizing. But notice how it's there's kind of this activation followed by a calming wave. Okay? So ordinarily, being mentally active makes you anxious, and being calmed makes your mind quieter, a little more sluggish or slower. So this starts to get a paradoxical activation and calming going at the same time. So let's do one more round. And again, be aware of what's happening inside. So breathing in, ha, 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 ha. 2 more, ha, ha, and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, become aware of the sensations in your body. Where do you feel the energy moving most? Many people feel it most in their chest, arms, and hands. So this is the reservoir in your body of love, courage, and compassion. So we've helped to activate those energies more too. Become aware of your thoughts. How much are your thoughts moving? How many thoughts are coming? And then observe the qualities of your breathing. The breath is a link from the outside world to your inner world and your spirit. And opening our eyes, let's move on to a breath we call 4, 4, 6, and 2. So we're going to be breathing in for 4 counts, slow counts, pausing our breath for 4 counts, breathing out for 6, pausing the breath 2. So you notice I got coughing a little bit after the ha breath. I'm getting over coronavirus. I feel fortunate to have had it early enough that I hope I will have good immunity. Now, there are certain things we can do to make the 4, 4, 6, and 2 breathing more effective. If possible, bring your upper legs together so your knees and upper legs are together. And then turn your feet so that the toes and balls of the feet are kind of together and your heels are apart. So this will help activate certain healing channels in your body. Follow my counts for your breathing and my hand movements. We're going to start with this by working on this internal channel and your internal organs. And in your brain, your inner feeling spiritual body is represented in that way. Okay, so let's first synchronize our breathing. Take a breath in. And then breathing out. And breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath effortlessly. And breathing out, coming down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause 2. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause the out breath 2. Breathing in, coming up. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause 2. And again, breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause 2. Relax, feet shoulder width, natural posture, closing your eyes. Observe the changes in your body. You may want to scan up from your feet, up through the legs and the torso of your body, up to your head, aware of the arms and hands. Feel the changes in the thoughts and the pace of your thoughts and the quality of your thoughts. And then become aware of what rhythm your breath is in. So we have a short time today. I would ordinarily do more of several rounds of 4, 4, 6, and 2 breathing. This breathing is extremely good for intense and negative emotions. to calm you down extremely quickly. We won't go into the physiology of it today, but understand that it's really important. If I only have a few minutes at the start of a very busy day, or if I'm getting very stressed, I will do this kind of breathing. And there may be times where you can't do this in a public place. You can do the breath counts without making it obvious that you're doing the breathing. So it's to calm down from anger, from fear, from panic, all of those things. Okay, now let's begin to bring our system in a smooth, balanced place. And for that, we'll start combining the breathing with movement. So just follow my movement. We're going to be doing kind of these big arm circles. And we're going to pace our breathing to the movement. So let's synchronize breathing. Take a deep breath in. Relaxing our body, breathing out. And breathing in, bringing the hands up, right up our central core. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, like painting a big circle. 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. One more like this. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. And relax a moment. Allow your eyes to close, or if it's hard to close your eyes all the way, part way. Bring your attention inside to the sensations in your body. And then become aware of your thoughts, your mental activity, including your attention level. And then become aware of your breathing. So it is very helpful to learn to do this breathing, pacing it with movement first, and notice how it makes your movement become smoother, more relaxed, and stronger in a certain way. So now let's sit down, or I'm going to sit down. You may want to lie down with your legs out supporting your back, or you may want to have your lower legs up on a chair. And what we're going to use to pace our breathing now are the sound of 2 bells chiming. You'll be hearing a high tone chime and a low tone. And we're going to be breathing in together on the high tone and out on the low tone. That's the low tone. And this is the high tone. Breathing out effortlessly, continuously, your belly gets smaller. Breathing in, the belly gets bigger. Breathing out, the belly gets smaller. Breath in. Breath out, very relaxed. When you breathe out, you do not have to squeeze all the air out. When you breathe in, you don't have to fill every bit of your lungs. The pace of the breathing and the relaxed quality gives this breath its remarkable magical properties. So Closing our eyes if possible. Breath in effortlessly, continuously. Belly gets bigger. Breath out effortlessly, continuously. The breath gets smaller. I'm sorry, your belly gets smaller. If it feels like you empty out or fill up before the next bell comes, just slow your breathing down. It's just a matter of practice. And again, some of you may feel this is way too slow. Some of you may feel this is way too fast. But trust me, everything starts working much better than it has been for a long time. So breath in, belly gets bigger. And breath out, the belly gets smaller. And if some of you are a little uncertain, I'll use my hand. You may want the visual. If it's easier to do it with your eyes closed, that's fine. Breathing out and breathing in. Breathing out and breathing in. Let your attention rest on feeling the breath moving in your nose and throat and body. Breath in, feeling the breath. Breath out, feeling the breath leave your body. The breath is your most crucial source of energy. Breath in and breath out. When your mind wanders, breathing in now, bring your attention back to feeling the breath and breath out. Breath in and breath out. Breath in, the belly gets bigger. Breath out, the belly gets smaller. Smooth, continuous movement of your belly. Breath in and breath out. Whatever thought or memory or sensation comes into your awareness, just let those things float by like clouds in the sky. Close your eyes or close them part way if you can close them all the way at this stage. Breath in and breath out. Breath in and breath out. Breath out, relaxed, relaxed, smooth and fluid breathing. Breath in and breath out. And now, as we continue to breathe in on the high tone and out on the low tone, breathing out now on the low tone, just imagine the breath will move inside your body. As you breathe in, a pressure wave moves up inside your spinal fluid and in your spinal column. And as you breathe out, the pressure wave moves down. We're going to now imagine we're feeling that subtle sensation. Breath in, imagine a wave of water or wind washing up from the base of the spine to the head. And as we breathe out, going back down to the base of the spine and the sit bones. Breath in, feel it flowing up your body to the top of the head and down to the base of the spine and the sit bones. Breath in, top of the head. And breath out, base of the spine. Just imagine, it may feel like a wonderful wave of water washing away all Or it may feel like a wonderful breeze moving the leaves on the trees in the forest on a really hot day, cooling you. Breath in and breath out. Can you feel that healing energy just moving up and down inside? Clearing away the old stress. When your mind wanders, come back to feeling the breath moving and staying close to the chimes. You do not have to be perfect. Breath in, top of the head, and breath out, base of the spine. Breath in, top of the head, and breath out, base of the spine. Top of the head. If at first it feels like nothing's happening, it's okay. But if you wish, in ancient times, they also used their inner mind's eyes to direct the energy movement throughout the body. Like you're looking inside your body, moving the eyes up and down. Breath in, flowing up, top of the head. And breath out, down to the base of the spine. Breath in. And breath out. And let go of moving the breath. Breath in on the high tone. And out on the low tone. Can you imagine feeling that you are being breathed? Just like if you played a musical instrument, you may have experienced feeling that you were being played. Or in a sport, you were no longer doing it. It was happening in a wonderful flow. Imagine becoming the breath, like the solar wind moving through space. And then we'll gradually fade the music out, letting our breathing come back to normal. And when I say normal, whatever rhythm your breathing wants to be in. And let's become more aware of the space around us, inside us, coming back to our body, which is the foundation of our awareness. Can you feel the air touching the surface of the skin all over your body at this moment? Can you vividly feel the three-dimensional presence of your whole body? And while being aware of the body, can you feel the space the room occupies around you? And bringing your attention more into your body, can you feel the space inside your nostrils as your breath moves, however fast or slow it wants to be, giving you the life energy of oxygen? Feeling the space inside your nostrils. And as you continue to breathe in a relaxed way, in whatever rhythm your breath wants to be, become very aware of the space inside your mouth, the volume of your tongue, the space from your tongue to your upper palate, the back of your throat, the teeth and gums and lips and cheeks. Feeling that space. Become very aware of the space deep inside your ears. And now between your ears at the same time. Inside and between your ears. Feeling that space. And just imagine becoming aware of the space between your eyes. Feel that space like you've never felt it before. And can you imagine your whole skull like an empty cup filled with space? Letting go of any tension in your body. Notice how your body can relax even more on the breath out. And become aware of the space inside your windpipe, your trachea, as the breath moves gently in and out of your body. Feel your arms from your fingertips to your shoulders, filled with space, as if they were balloons filled with helium. And can you then imagine feeling the spaces between your fingers and around your hands and arms at the same time? Filled with space, yet surrounded by space. And feel the space your lungs occupy as they gently expand and contract with your breath. Feeling the space inside your belly, your abdomen. Can you now feel the space between your hips? Is it possible to imagine feeling your legs from your toes to your hips like balloons filled with space, filled with helium, becoming softer, bigger, lighter? Letting go of tension in your body, in your mind, in your breath. Can you imagine your whole body like an empty hollow flute? Or perhaps you can imagine your whole body and mind and feelings as a cloud filled with space, penetrated by space, and surrounded by space. And while feeling the space your body occupies, become aware of the space the room occupies around you. Can you feel more of a space between your thoughts than when we started? Become aware of the sensations throughout your body. Become aware of the sounds around you, close to you, and then far away, beyond the room you're in, beyond the building you're in. Imagine hearing those sounds far away. And then let's take a deep breath in and make a sigh out. Deep breath in. Another deep breath in. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And then we'll begin to take questions for some minutes. Okay, so the first question is the difference between nose and mouth breathing. So breath practices that are typically taught emphasize breathing in the nose, and I think the breath out through the mouth, and a longer exhale leads to a slower heart rate versus the equal in and equal out. So there are many ways to breathe, but it looks like breathing in and out through the nose, if that's possible for you, stimulates the vagal nerve that tunes the autonomic system up for calming. When I teach martial arts, we learn how to use breath in and out of the mouth to activate your system much more. But here we're working on healing. We're not working for kind of maximal strength and protection at this point. And yes, it can be good to learn how to do a long exhale to relax more. But what they used to do thousands of years ago was first you would spend a long time paying attention to the exhale, making it longer, making your breath really slow, and getting really calm. And that's very valuable. And that takes some years to really do well. The problem is your mind is pretty mushy. And for your everyday life, you want both parts of your autonomic system to be tuned up and complementary. And in the old days, they would first learn the slow breathing with a long exhale. Then they learned fast breathing. And then advanced people would come to learn this kind of breathing. I don't find many people these days wanting to spend years learning those kinds of breathing. If you have to do one kind of breathing to transform yourself, the coherent breathing quickly tunes up your mind and your body. From there, it's quite easy to learn how to do slower breathing or faster breathing, but use coherent breathing as your centering kind of default mode. Okay. Other questions? Any experiences people want to share? So one of the questions is, what makes us feel solid? There are opposing complementary forces in the energy of your cells that are very powerful, van der Waals forces. And so that gives us this illusion of solidness when we're actually very little mass. I won't go into more detail. I'm happy for getting better too from coronavirus. I've had it for some weeks, and I'm doing a lot better. And the breathing has been very important to me. Gentle breathing, gentle energy. I'm glad many of you are saying you really enjoyed the exercises and you feel the change in energy. And other people who know me are saying hi. Now, someone is saying they feel a lot of tension in the head when doing the breathing, like a dull headache. What I'd say is, one thing that happens when you do the breathing properly is the blood vessels open up that have been closed and tense with stress, and there's more blood flow. So you may feel that. It's also possible you're doing the breathing too hard. And when we do the breathing, we often do it too hard at first. And I'd say, calm your breathing down. Now, Should you always do this sequence? Not necessarily. This is a very good sequence that I found is healing to people all over the world. I like tapping a lot, and it's part of what warriors have done for thousands of years to strengthen themselves physically and mentally for going into combat. And right now in this world, it's like going into combat at times. So what it says, we have more variations of these processes. And if you train more with us, you'll learn and experience what works best for your body to have a practice like that. Someone is saying, it's hard to switch off my mind at night. I would say it can be nice to do the 4, 4, 6, and 2 breathing and coherent breathing. Most people find they will go to sleep with that. If that doesn't get you to sleep, then it's valuable to lengthen the out breath, which means you can breathe in on 1 chime of the bell and out on 2 chimes of the bell. Now, how do you avoid pressure on your elbow joints when you're doing hot breath? You always keep your, let me stand back a moment, okay? When you go like this, you notice I'm not going like that. In other words, I'm sorry, you may not have been able to see that, obviously. I just have been doing martial arts and yoga since I was 12 years old. So you do not rigidly make your arm straight. It's more like, you'll notice there's a bend at my wrist, there's a bend at the elbow, and there's this bend at the shoulder. It's a sequence of curves. Even though I'm shaking water off my fingers, there's a little bit of tension at the last moment and then a relaxation that follows in there. Okay. I think someone's saying, really good, much appreciated. Which is best if I can't remember all? If you go to our website, breath-body-mind.com, there are links to sequences where you can follow the breathing and practice at home, at least this kind of beginning way of doing it. And I know some of you have to move on to do other things. Where does the tapping come from? Tapping techniques developed thousands of years ago in China and other cultures, and are also very similar to massage and are working on acupuncture channels. And so you can go to our website and see how to practice this at home, seeing me teaching a wonderful radio TV journalist that worked with Sarah Porath, a wonderful award-winning producer at City University of New York TV. And in fact, in terms of the tapping, some of you may know about sumo, which is a form of wrestling in Japan that's ancient. And right now, the person who is the top champion in Japan is from Mongolia. And part of what makes him a sensation is not only winning more than anyone ever in the history of sumo, but he has a process of warming up before going on in the match that's very similar. I'm sure from Mongolia, it came from China, and perhaps in parts of it came from India across the Himalayas, spreading through all of Asia. And that tapping helps tune up your mind and body complex. Okay. So one of the questions is, I love the breathing with the chime exercise. In this sequence, I felt a lot of clarity and calmness. Exactly. Your mind is relaxed and attentive, and so you can respond better flexibly in however you need to. Most people get stuck from stress in 1 or 2 gears, but the breathing allows you to flexibly shift into any gear. So you can also go back to Dr. Brown's video on the Health Flicks channel.
We're posting these. People want to see these again.
Yeah, if you want to see the sequence we went through, you can go back through this, what we've done today. Again, There's always ways to go deeper into all these things. Over thousands of years, people have come up with very creative ways. And you're absolutely right. This is the best way to start the day. The question was, one of the questions is, does the order of the exercises matter? To some degree it does. It's nice to do activating things first, often, not always, and then calm yourself down and then really balance and strengthen everything. And that's kind of the order we did them in. But there may be a time where you need to really calm down, or you're working hard at something and your brain and body are getting dull, and you may need to energize and activate to be able to perform for what you've got to do. So tapping and ha breath are good for that. How to handle anger and rage? 4 in, 4 hold, 6 out, hold the out breath for 2. Do about 15 to 30 of those in a row, and you'll be a lot calmer. When our teachers, not just me, teach these to military veterans who have a lot of anger and rage from the stress they've accumulated in their system, the 4-4-6 and 2 breathing is what they immediately teach their friends. Because many veterans find that rage and anger is their first problem that they need to work on. Okay, I think we have to stop. So I'll say goodbye for me and also for Dr. Gerbar, who's been helping all the way through. And thank all our breath coaches who may be watching, who've worked with us in many wonderful places with wonderful people around the world.